Hey guys, today we're talking about some of the biggest names in the industry shutting down locations. Why is this happening? The economy's been hitting everyone hard, and fast food chains are no exception. They're facing rising costs, tougher competition, and people just not spending as much money on eating out. So, to stay afloat, these companies are having to make some tough choices, and that means closing down some of their restaurants. We're talking hundreds of locations across the country. Let's dive deep into the fast food apocalypse and reveal 15 chains that are closing restaurants right now. First up, we've got KFC, the Colonel's own fried chicken empire. Now, I love me some KFC, but it seems like they're having a tough time down in Louisiana. We're not just talking about a few stores closing, we're talking about KFC completely pulling out of the entire state. All those KFC locations in Louisiana, gone. Rumors are swirling about rising operating costs, increased competition, and maybe even some issues with finding good employees. Whatever the reason, it's a sad day for fried chicken lovers in Louisiana. Next up, we've got Arby's, the king of roast beef and curly fries. Now, Arby's has always been a solid choice for a quick and tasty meal, but even they're feeling the heat. They've already started shutting down restaurants across the country, and it seems like some of their most iconic locations are on the chopping block. We're talking about flagship Arby's restaurants in major cities like San Francisco and San Antonio. The closures have already begun, with restaurants in Santa Maria, California, and Houston, Texas shutting their doors for good, and it looks like more closures are on the horizon, with those flagship locations in San Francisco and San Antonio bracing for impact. It's a tough blow for Arby's fans, but it's a stark reminder that no restaurant, no matter how iconic, is immune to the challenges facing the industry. Also, TGI Fridays is closing down restaurants left and right. They've already started waving goodbye to locations in Texas, and it seems like Massachusetts is next on the list. The casual dining sector has been struggling for a while now. People are opting for faster, more affordable options, and that's putting the squeeze on places like Fridays. Rising food and labor costs are making it tough for restaurants to turn a profit. And finally, some say that Fridays just hasn't kept up with the times. Firehouse subs extinguished in Minnesota. Next up, we head to the land of 10,000 lakes, where Firehouse Subs is facing a 5-alarm fire. The sandwich chain, known for its firefighter theme and commitment to public service, is shutting down all of its locations in Minnesota. This isn't just a random decision, it's a strategic move by the company to streamline its operations and focus on more profitable markets. But for fans of Firehouse Subs in Minnesota, it's a tough break. Minnesota is known for its thriving food scene, so I'm sure something delicious will pop up in Firehouse Subs' place. Bojangles trims stores amid struggles. It all started with Jacksonville, Florida, where Bojangles closed all of its restaurants. They're taking a hard look at other underperforming markets and making some tough decisions. Bojangles is focusing on strengthening their presence in their core markets. Moe's Southwest Grill downsizes in Indiana. Get ready for a burrito blackout, Indiana, because Moe's Southwest Grill is closing down half of its restaurants in the state. The fast casual market is becoming increasingly crowded, with new players popping up all the time. This increased competition is putting pressure on chains like Moe's to keep prices low and quality high. Rising food and labor costs are making it tough for all restaurants to turn a profit. Some say that Moe's just hasn't been able to keep up with changing consumer tastes. Raising Cane's closes troubled restaurants. Caniacs, listen up! Raising Cane's, the beloved chicken finger chain, is closing down restaurants that have become hotbeds for trouble. Raising Cane's is also shutting down all of its college campus locations. Chick-fil-A shutters stores across the South. Hold on to your waffle fries, because Chick-fil-A is closing down restaurants across the South. The beloved chicken sandwich chain is shutting down locations in states like North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. Industry experts speculate that it's all part of a larger strategy to optimize their operations and focus on their most profitable markets. Hooters is quietly closing down restaurants across the country. The number of Hooters restaurants has dropped from 321 to 306 this year, and it seems like more closures are on the horizon. The casual dining sector has been struggling for a while now as people are opting for faster, more affordable options. Hooters has faced criticism over the years for its, shall we say, unique brand image. In today's more socially conscious world, some say that Hooters' image is outdated and even offensive. Hardee's is slashing its store count. The fast food chain, known for its charbroiled burgers and curly fries, is closing down hundreds of locations across the country. Parent company CK Restaurant Holdings has announced plans to reduce Hardee's store count by approximately 213 locations. Hardee's is focusing on strengthening their presence in their core markets. Steak and Shake, the beloved burger and shake chain, is shrinking its footprint. The company has been closing down both corporate-owned and franchisee-operated locations in an effort to save costs and streamline its operations. So far, Steak and Shake has closed 8 corporate-owned restaurants and 16 franchisee-operated locations. Steak and Shake is focusing on strengthening their presence in their core markets. Papa Murphy's, the take-and-bake pizza chain, is facing a closure crisis. The company has been closing down franchise locations at an alarming rate, with 72 closures in 2022 alone. The pizza market is incredibly competitive, with new players popping up all the time. This increased competition is putting pressure on chains like Papa Murphy's to keep prices low and quality high. Papa Murphy's unique take-and-bake model, which was once a major selling point, is now seen as a disadvantage by some consumers. In today's fast-paced world, many people simply don't have the time or energy to bake their own pizzas. Baskin Robbins, the iconic ice cream chain, is scooping out stores across the country. The company has been quietly closing down locations, with closures reported in states like Kansas and North Carolina. 8 Baskin Robbins ice cream shops in Kansas and 13 locations in North Carolina are expected to close before year's end. The ice cream market is becoming increasingly crowded, with new players like frozen yogurt shops and artisanal ice cream parlors popping up all the time. This increased competition is putting pressure on chains like Baskin Robbins to keep prices low and quality high. As consumers become more health conscious, they're seeking out healthier dessert options, and Baskin Robbins hasn't done much to adapt to this trend. Starbucks. Even Starbucks, the coffee giant Francisco, isn't immune to the retail apocalypse. The chain is closing down 7 locations in San Francisco due to safety concerns and declining guest visits. San Francisco, like many major cities, has seen a rise in crime and homelessness in recent years, which has made some areas less desirable for businesses. Even in a city known for its coffee obsession, Starbucks is struggling to keep its doors open. Chipotle, the fast casual giant known for its burritos and bowls, is saying ciao to its pizza chain, Pizzeria Locale. Chipotle is dissolving its pizza venture, with the remaining 5 restaurants in Denver set to close by the end of the year. Industry experts speculate that the pizza chain simply wasn't generating enough revenue to justify its continued operation. So there you have it, guys. 15 fast food chains that are closing restaurants right now. It's a tough time for the industry, but it's important to remember that these closures are often a last resort. These companies are doing everything they can to stay afloat, but sometimes tough decisions have to be made. The food industry is constantly evolving, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Thanks for watching.